we were super duper close. And
Mm-hmm.
you were by far my bestest friend. And then we had kind of a falling apart and we've never really talked about it. But I thought that that would be powerful to go back to that moment. There's so many, sometimes it feels easier a cop out to go back to the beginning of a friendship because we all know the spoiler alert is like we're bestest friends now. But I feel like there's so many friendships that start off close and then have a moment where one person gets hurt, disappointed feelings, and that's where a lot of friendships don't survive. And so I thought it'd be interesting to try to go back and see if we could kind of dissect that moment. Are you up for that?
Yes, I'm up for that.
And we might have very different perspectives on it. So, and different memories and how our memories work and what parts I don't remember and what parts I do. So I'm looking forward to learning from you and better hearing your perspective on it. So for me, my brain goes back to Claim Jumper. And I remember we were sitting in a booth, which is one of my favorite restaurants. And we were sitting in a booth. I feel like maybe it was our senior year of college. I don't remember. And let's just for context, you only stayed at the same school as I did for 2 years, right? And then you transferred to a different campus.
It was like two and a half, two and
Okay.
a half.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we were really close for a year or two there, and then we had
Mm-hmm.
distance, and we both were in different programs, and both had very different busy lives. And then, so this is our fourth year of college. So we've been friends for 3.5 years, some of that closer than others. And we're sitting at this restaurant, and I just remember you expressing disappointment in me. And I'm trying to recall the conversation. I just feel like I was being broken up with, honestly, is that's how I kind of feel it. And it's probably not at all how you meant it, but I just remember feeling like I had like failed you and that you were just kind of like had found different friends or something. And so I remember just being so hurt, but also like kind of confused by that whole thing a tiny bit. And we've never gone back and looked at that, but I would love now with maturity and a little bit of wisdom to like ask like what were you feeling and what was leading up to that experience for you?
So prior to that, when we came back from France, we we did a road trip to Colorado
Mm.
together, and then that sophomore year, you became SA president, which was
Oh,
kind of unheard of, for a sophomore, but you were awesome. And so, of course, you were there being SA president. And so your time was really taken up a lot by doing that. And I think as the year wore on, I had this feeling of just wanting more of that one on one time with you rather than time spent at events together,
yeah,
which I
attending all
think
my events.
well, I think prior to that, we had had a mixture of both. And I think it felt to me a little bit more that our interactions were coming during those events. And so, one of our ingredients that I think makes us so close is that not only can we have fun, but we can go deep together. We can
Mhm.
be really vulnerable. And so, I don't think we really had those opportunities to do that. And I was missing that.
Of
And
course.
so I think near the end of the year, I decided to express that to you. And I'm pretty positive in doing so that I didn't do it in a loving, mature way. I did it in a,
Hurt feelings. Yeah.
yeah, like a blaming way, and I know that I came to it like that, and so obviously I don't think it was well received by you. I think you felt defensive, and well, what can I do? I'm the SA president, kind of like I feel like it came across like I was saying you just needed to be in this little bubble with me, and how can I do that if I'm SA president and pulled in these different directions? And so I really feel like I didn't express very well, really, the deep intention of just, hey, I just want more of that vulnerable time with you.
Mm.
And so then I think after that, we still were friends and did things, but I think we didn't feel as close after that conversation. And I think there were hurt feelings on both sides. And then because I went over to a different campus, there wasn't as much time together. It wasn't like we didn't see each other, though. And so I think when we got together finally at Claim Jumpers, I think I was trying almost to do like a preemptive strike, like,
Mm.
you know, maybe you were engaged, I think, at the time, and I thought, maybe I should just express that, I've got my group of friends now, and I realize she's got hers, and kind of almost like, you don't need to feel bad about not inviting me to be in the wedding. I almost felt like you might not ask me to be in the wedding, and so I should
Oh,
kind of break up, like I
so
should break up
much
with,
so much.
like I should break up with you first,
Oh,
which is just, but it's just,
it's human nature,
again,
isn't it? Yeah. I mean,
yes,
you
it's
pull
just
back
so
from this.
unfortunate.
Oh, you pull back from this and you're just like, all you were wanting initially was just like, I miss my friend, and I can look back now and be like, I did not understand friendship well in that stage of life either. Like it's one of the things that informs me now talking about loneliness can be one form of loneliness can be having too many friends, and it can be like spreading yourself out and being so visible and being out there. And, here I am juggling this whole big world and not understanding at the time completely that I need to prioritize a few people and not just be visible and available for everybody. And like, of course, my friend, you would feel like you're missing me. And of course, you felt like you were like I was distracted and not prioritizing you. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back in time and just say, I am so sorry for neglecting you in any way.